Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. And wow, who do we have here? Wow, we have the two-piece in a pod running on schedule or ahead of schedule. And wow, hey, good morning, everybody there to YouTube channel Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age TV channel. It talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles and SUVs, and the kid and the dad and the popcorn, the attitudes. It's Thursday morning, and the kid is on the ball getting me a coffee. I got it. Oh, gee, I tell you, the violence has already began. It's already begun. And there's my dad over there crawling out of the car with the granddaughter with an attitude on the Ice Age TV YouTube channel. So, wow, it's Thursday. It's Thursday morning, even for me, beyond believable. I'm not even 1 minute into the video. I'm not. You're not on. You're good. Boy, she's wound up.
She wouldn't go to Panera's with me.
Wow, she's wound up this morning, man. What happened last night? Good Lord. Wow. Hey, Dad, what's the word of the day today, Dad?
The word is today, I'm not dancing as well as I was yesterday.
Okay. That's pretty good. I like it. How are you going to fix that? How are you going to fix that?
She wouldn't dance with me in that outfit.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Tell you what, the rejection. The granddaughter and the daughter's rejection morning. Want me to help you with that, Dad? Have a little problem there? Don't fall in the door over there. You all right? All right. So, anyways, wow. Oh, my gosh. Hey, how to get the morning going, right? The kid. Anybody here's a father, mother, children. Yeah, those teenage years. Yeah. The terrible twos. I think they come full circle by the time they hit a teenager. What do you think of that, right? So, hey, I got my new Screaming Eagle Harley hat on that I got over the, I guess what is over the weekend, Sunday, up there at Crystal River. I call it Crystal River. It's Crystal Harley, which that deal never played out. But if you watch my channel, you know my kid, she just really isn't heck bent on having something different. I mean, shouldn't I be proud of that? Shouldn't I be very happy? Here, my glasses are trashed. Got to clean my glasses. So, how do I do that? The bench, this bench is like my bench up at my shop. There's always crap all over it. Anybody know these stories? I mean, sincerely. You know how you just have stuff that lays everywhere? Oh my gosh, so I'm going to do this and hold the camera and talk at the same time. I really don't know, to be honest with you. I'm going to try my best to clean my glasses that are trashed. And yeah, I got the late start. It wasn't them being early. I got a little late start. But you know what? It's vacation, isn't it? Should I be down here enjoying the vacation? And how do we keep the theme of the channel going with, what was it, spies, then programming, software. So, you know what, just to keep the theme going, we'll call it the hardware day. How about that idea? The hardware idea? So, and it's not the hardware Home Depot. It's the hardware that you put into computers to complete a task of all the components that are needed to make a computer. So I thought for today, the hardware conversation would be pretty cool. I need a cup of coffee. I haven't even had my coffee yet. Wow. And as always, appreciate those. Always listen to my channel. And I love it because there's so many people that catch the little details and they respond to my comments area. And they're so abreast to the conversation. So they literally talk about and share their views or ideas of things that I share with you, which is pretty cool. So the hardware, you know, what is the hardware? And once again, I'm just intrigued by all this technology that's around us. And more than ever, I'm just thinking, wow, I guess it's just time to start knowing all the language because everything's being computerized, you know, everything's being modernized. And once again, the cars are all part of this computer revolution that started many, many years ago. And that's why I'm sharing all these information so that maybe it helps you think of something that maybe I don't think of, and you'll even mention that. So hardware, what is hardware? And what we'll do is we'll talk about that in 1 second. But I got to talk about the road glides. It's interesting how a lot of guys out there are being smarter than me. And what they're doing is they're taking their, my dad takes the chair and puts it there, I guess, for his daily drink to hang out in the garage. I guess that's what's going on. A lot of guys are smarter than me because here I have back-to-back road glides. previous generation Fast Johnny, and I guess I never heard anybody else on my channel claim that this is the replacement Fast Johnny. I would assume it is, but they don't reference it that way per se. It just seems like the 2023 Road Glide and Street Glide ST side, there's a Fast Johnny paint scheme. What do they call it here? The Enthusiast Collection. So it's more showing the Fast Johnny, and people really like the scheme. Versus this here, is there a Fast Johnny sticker on the white ST? I've never even looked. I'd have to assume so. So is this a Fast Johnny? Once again, I would have to think so, because it's the replacement of the 23 to 24. And again, like I just said, for me, man, I really need to do back-to-back riding comparisons on the bikes, but do I? And I've talked so much about my first CVO 23, next generation, updated generation, 121 motor. I spent a lot of time last summer, end of the summer, September, October, talking about the differences of the Road Glide, the former CVO, and the new one. So, once again, I think it's pretty cool that I've got the two bikes side by side, and you can see so many differences. But for now, I'll kind of let that go. But if others are like, yeah, you really need to talk more about that, yeah, whatever. And then yesterday for me, why wouldn't I take the CVO ST out and not the versus the Breakout? I just love the Breakout. That Breakout is just so light and nimble, and it's so powerful. It is so fast. And for just doing 50, 100-mile days, that's a great bike. 200-mile days, yeah, I mean, it's fine, but it's more of the back road, limited open highway to me, the street cruiser. It's just a fun bike for what we're doing down here, and we're having a lot of fun riding the bikes, and the weather is just right for us, where it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and it's not too humid. And that's the challenge down here in Florida. It's the humidity factor. Once you get into basically the May months, late April months, and right now today's actually got a lot of humidity, but it's just I don't know. You just sweat all day long. And I talked about that many times. So anyways, the hardware, what is the hardware conversation? Well, for me, if I can make any room on this freaking bench that has everything on it, it just doesn't end, man. I mean, it's just incredible. Uh-oh, who's coming out? The kid's gonna come out and start yelling at me. Hey, you want your earbuds?
Yes.
Here you go. Here you go, babe. There you go. So, whoops, I'm sorry. So anyways, let's get the old phone out here on the old dirty
Are we gonna go gun
bench.
shooting?
We are. Oh, the kids are disclosing the next adventure today. We're going to shoot the guns. Yes, we're going to do some target practice. So anyways, let me get my phone open here, and that's another challenge, right? It's everybody watch my channel. A lot of distractions this morning, right? And I see this morning, where's all the noise? It's me. I mean, sincerely, where is all the noise? All right, so I'm just trying to get my phone kind of loaded up here to give you the... Okay, so apparently they've got 7 things. What are the 7 major hardware components of a computer system? So it shows here they have a motherboard, random access memory, video graphics, power supply, cooling fan, hard drive, and a monitor. But really, there's really 5 key components actually for the computer, which is the motherboard, which is the central processing unit, the graphical processing unit, the random access memory, and the storage device. So those are the key hardware components that makes the computers work. I mean, the way I look at it, it's kind of like you got an engine, here on a motorcycle. Then you've got the tires and wheels, and then you have the brakes and the steering, and then you have the gas. So the oil. So I mean, to me, yeah, that's the hardware. What's the basic components or hardware for a vehicle? But that's all changing more than ever. That when you start reading into all this computer technology on how the ICE vehicles have like 1,500 chips in them, and the electric vehicles have like 3,000 chips in them. So for electric vehicles, they have like double the amount of chips in those cars, which in some ways does that make it more expensive? I don't think so. So then you say to yourself, what does ECM stand for? And TCM, so ECM stands for Engine Control Module. Some call it ECU. TCM stands for Transmission Control Module, and PCM for Powertrain and Control Module. Each module performs its own key functions in controlling your vehicle. The ECM gathers incoming data from various parts of your car's engine. So those three major hardware, that's three of the key things in your vehicles are the ECM, the TCM, and the PCM. But if a TCM and a manual transmission, I'm not so sure about that. And then also the chips in the car, the software, the hardware, the computer per se. It isn't per se like a computer per se. Let's see here. These days, cars are computer centers on wheels. Today's vehicles contain over 100 computers. There you go. I'm wrong. And millions of lines of software code. These computers are all networked together and can operate all aspects of your vehicle. Let's see here. What else we got here? They don't actually have a single motherboard. So cars don't have a motherboard. Modern cars often have dozens or even hundreds of computers on board, and many of them are single chip devices and don't even have a motherboard as such. Few systems in cars are so complex they need anything like a motherboard to function. Let's see here. We got some more information for you. My hand's moving, so maybe I ought to put it down, because maybe that's probably making you nauseous on my YouTube channel. So this is what's kind of interesting here, is I'll show that in a second, is the technology that we surround us with, all these computers. And that's what we talk about on the channel all the time, is about this artificial intelligence that's going to overtake all these vehicles. I mean, I just think to myself, more than ever, you're going to have a computer, you're going to have a robot, the Optimus, the Figure AI, all these companies, Boston Robotics. You're going to have these electronic walking things that's around everything that's electronic. And you just have to start to say to yourself that these robots will be on a mission to be gathering information all the time. So you're going to be able to send your robot up to get the mail at the mailbox, if the mailman still exists, even though we heard back in so many years ago that when email came out, that the mailman would be, eliminated. So remember those conversations? The post office, because email, but for the most part, take it all over. But once again, you send your Optimus robot up the street, and he can be reading all your neighbor's information. If that robot is, if you can do the right software, the hacking, because everything here has got a signal going on. Every home here has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, the cars. I think it's going to be incredible on how you're going to hear if people, robots are going to be stealing all your data because they can get so close to your car or house or whatever it may be, the networks, and those things are going to start hacking, unbeknownst to you, just incredible devious things. And even they'll probably hack your car. And I mean, it just goes on. The list goes on and on. And that's one thing today, you hear that people have their cars stolen, is somebody tags your car. Somebody puts a device in your car, unbeknownst to you, and now they're tracking you, and they know when the best time of the day or night is to take your car. I mean, who doesn't know these stories? It's a huge problem. And even I have a friend back at the Dodge dealership, Mo, if he's listening, I doubt he is, but he just had his Camaro stolen. And then his buddy had his Camaro ZL1 stolen. Now he's arguing with the insurance company to get the money out of the car that he had invested into it. He's really mad because he wants like 55 grand. They're offering 35 grand. And his friend's in the same boat. His friend who put like 50 or 60 grand to his ZL1, they're 50 grand short of what he wants out of that car right now that got stolen. So I think a lot of people will agree that, start modding your car, and then somebody gets it, and then people say, we have records, and well, they do. The guy has all his records, but he's arguing with the insurance company of what he thinks is, what he feels is the right value, what he put into it, what he should be paid for it. So, but here's back to my cell phone, okay, just everything gets on my phone. So here is now, this kind of cracks me up. The U.S. will invest, so the U.S. right now just announced they're getting very concerned about future Chinese cars coming into the market. The U.S. will investigate potential data and cybersecurity risks posed by Chinese electric vehicles and other internet-connected cars, the Commerce Department said Thursday, including to act before their manufacturers expand into American markets. The U.S. isn't yet calling for a ban of Chinese EVs, but could impose some limitations on imports of vehicles or parts. And an administration official told reporters on condition of anonymity, potential curbs could affect a range of connected and autonomous vehicles, as well as related components from China and other foreign adversaries. The officials said we're doing it now before Chinese manufacturing vehicles become widespread in the United States and potentially threaten our privacy and our national security. I just think to myself, really? I mean, is anybody laughing at this so-called announcement by this administration? Do you have a cell phone? Where does Apple build all its freaking cell phones for so many years? China. I mean, what doesn't have a China on it of everything you own around you? I mean, come on. I mean, the running joke is people say these Harley Davidsons are junk because they're built in China. They're just China Harleys. China Davidson. Yeah, I mean, sincerely. So I think this is classic. Really, these electric vehicles coming to our country are going to be a security threat to our country. While China has been in our backyard now since the Bill Clinton days and bigger. I mean, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, people jump up and down about this administration being the best damn thing this country's ever had. I think they're the minority, but they get the majority of the attention. You ever notice that in class growing up? There was just one person that was the most obnoxious, pain in the ass person in class. And that person got all the attention. Do you remember these days? But the majority of people in the class didn't like that person and didn't operate like that person. Welcome to Biden economics. Welcome to our country's governing bodies. Yeah, a very small percentage of people are really on board with what this country's doing, but yet they make it sound like everybody's on board for all this crap. Well, with all the illegal immigration, yeah, yesterday's video on that lady that took a picture, I thought, of my truck. I haven't seen a letter yet, but my mom sometimes doesn't share stuff. My mother's so cool. I'm not lying. My mother, I don't know. We'll see. But it's really cool. This is so cool. Me being here with my mother. When I got here with my mother, you have no idea how she, I mean, this is stuff that I really want my mother to hear me talk about, but I'm not lying to you. My mother would be laying in bed, moaning. Yes, in pain, suffering. Very sad. When I got here, my mother looked in dire straits. Very, very bad. And I'm not here to embellish about me. It's not about me. I mean, it's not about me. Anybody watch my channel? I'm just trying to have fun in life and share my fun with you, and hopefully that's entertains you, and hope it helps you because it helps me. It's just because we're talking to each other, which is so cool. But the point of that is my mother truly has gone through very, very challenging times. She went from weighing 101 pounds in 2022 to when I got here, she weighs 81 pounds. And as you know, if you watch my channel, I lost pretty much all last year. Usually I come down here 3-4 times a year at least. Last year I only came down here once. So my presence was not here. And it's so cool because neighbors, businesses, well, I say, oh, wow, hey, man, good to see you. Where have you been? We missed you, blah, blah, blah. That's so cool. So anyways, for my mother, it was really bad. And so last night, apparently, when I was over at the pool, I go spend hours in the pool over there. I'll spend 2-3 hours over in the pool. I just love it. I'm a Pisces. I'm a fish. February sign. If you believe in the signs, yeah, I'm all over the place. Have you noticed that? So anyways, my dad will come out here in the garage, and he'll have a beer just to have his peace moment. And my mom apparently came out last night. Now, this is just for me. I love it. My mother got out of bed. She walked down here to the garage and started chewing my dad out for where's her dinner. I mean, that's a first. I mean, usually she's texting him or calling him, but this time she's so much stronger and she's gaining weight and she's eating that she literally got up on her own. I'm sure my dad was stumped because he would typically be looking at his phone to see when the wife's bugging you for something you to do for her. because she's been so bedridden. So she's out in the garage. My daughter's saying, borderline yelling at my dad to get his act together, get back at the house, and get a meal for her. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think that's great stuff myself. So here we are. Wait, what? It's hot. It's gotten hot down here. So we've been through the whole transition of being down here where it's been hot to back to cool. And now it's back to being hot. And when we were down there on the bikes yesterday on the Campbell Courtney Causeway, and that was just a great, enjoyable ride. A great time just to hang out. I got a lot of sun. I actually got sunburned because I didn't bring any lotion. The only downside to the, as you know, these more naked bikes is there isn't any really storage. I know I can get myself a little side thing, which I probably should, because then, you know, like I have my daughter carry my registration. You know, it's crazy down in Florida. You don't have to have insurance for a motorcycle. If you financed it, then the finance company wants you to have insurance. But Florida's laws don't require you to have insurance. You don't have to have proof of insurance when you register a vehicle in Florida for your motorcycle, even to a degree for cars. That's why insurance down here is so expensive, because there's so many people running around that don't carry it, and then who's paying for it? That's a big problem down here. I mean, so I don't know. I told you the other morning about the accident. So we were going to church on Sunday. I think it's for me, maybe we're done in conversation, but I don't know if I told you maybe the full story. So let me get my coffee here. And spilled all of myself and spilled all my nice shirt. They have the marks, the coffee marks. So anyways, the Sunday morning, we're going to church, and we take the bikes. My dad left before we left, and as we're going down the main drag to go to church, the whole road shut down. One of my neighbors is walking his pug dogs. You can see here if you want to see the number of the people walking around enjoying the nice day. So anyways, we're going to church, and so the road shut down, and my first thoughts are, since my dad left 5 minutes earlier, but I didn't really think that, I really didn't think he was in an accident, because there were just too many medical vehicles, and the whole road shut down just too quickly. So, morning. So anyways, so I just, but at the same time, I'm concerned with my dad's well-being, and I pull up to the police officer, as you'll probably watch the video, on my motorcycle, and he's very hesitant to kind of let his window down at first, but then he told me there's been a crash, and then he disclosed that there was a motorcycle crash. And I'm like, wow, you know, and that just hits so close to home. If you're a motorcyclist, you just know, you know, it's everybody knows how dangerous the motorcycles are, because when you get hit on a motorcycle, the odds are against you versus getting hit in a car. So anyway, that's all we heard. It wasn't until like the day later, and that's why I say, I don't know on my channel if I mentioned this to anybody, a day later that we figured out what happened. So the news shares that a young man, 20-year-old kid on a Kawasaki Ninja bike was going down the road, and a 73-year-old man, like in a Cadillac, was doing a U-turn, and he took the kid out, and he killed him. So that's what happened. And down here, if you watch my videos, I mean, there's down here in Florida to me, and maybe I'm just oblivious to where I live, I just don't see what you see down here. And down here, it is such the flat roads, and it's just intersection after intersection after intersection. It's just huge. And there's so many intersections with no stop sign, or no lights, because people are trying to get across the road just to get into a business. And so it's so bad. I mean, and that's the number one killer of motorcycles is the intersections. It's the T-bones. So condolences to the family, and wow, beyond who must even think about it. I mean, that's just so heart-wrenching to hear that. But the point is, with me, is when you ride down here, oh my gosh, man, it's like you always have to be looking, you know, there's nothing guaranteed because you're just being so alert, but you constantly have to be looking up the road and pacing yourself through these intersections. But it's the side, it's really not always the intersection of where the lights are. It's these turns where people can make turns on basically a 6 to 8 lane road to get across the road from one side to the other, just to turn around or go to another business across the street. Then I think I would be willing to bet that's probably the most common crash. My brother claims that up the road here where that kid got killed, that area right there is always, and I do know for a fact, like 3-4 years ago, some young girl split her car in half up on that road that hit a telephone or hit a power pole. And these power poles are usually aluminum. It's also really incredible down here with all the hardware talk, all the electrical grid system they're putting in. They're putting a brand new whole electrical system down here, just probably 5 miles from here. And on the roads up here, they're putting all new power lines in. And I've talked about this on my YouTube channel so many times. You just know that it's this whole computing and electric car infrastructure that's coming to you that's going to have such a strain on the system that they're having to build out all these electrical systems. And can they? I mean, can electrical companies even build out? You know what? This is no lie. I mean, even for me, I'm just like beyond believable. I just got a $971 bill for my property up north. Yes, $971 electric bill. I'm not even charging my electric cars. This is because the electric company, the utility companies are going to have no choice to start jacking the rates like never seen to be able to cover for all this infrastructure that's being forced in the hand. I talk about this all the time. People are thinking they're going to save all this money with electric vehicle. You're not. You're not. Your insurance rates are going to be higher. You're going to have to pay more money for a car in so many aspects. But at the end of the day, the electric bill, and once again, if you want to do the renewable energy, get off the grid, I get it. Then you're going to probably, in some ways, you got to buy all this stuff. So it isn't like it's free. But it's once again, at the end of the day, you're going to be paying just as much as you do to go to the gas station. I just can't see how guys will be able to say, well, I bought my electric car, and, I just don't have the expenses. It's like, nah, nope. No, but that's what I think drives so many people is to buy an electric car. I've talked about it a gazillion times. And for me, I'm sure anyone on my channel, to even think that this industry really starts getting hell-bent on taking away these motors and putting battery packs in them, and that they have this weed whacker speaker in the back to make a funky noise as you go down the road. Who even wants to think about it? I mean, but you know as well as I do, you just know the green agenda activists are pounding their fists to all these companies that they got to start transitioning these motorcycles into being the battery powered bike. And some people love that stuff. I don't get where you go spend $10 or $20 to fuel up your bike, go do a 200-mile ride. That's gonna break the bank account? Are you kidding me? I just don't get the electric thing, an electric bike. I don't get it. I mean, does anybody really get it? I'm sure some of you are like, yeah, but they're extremely fast. Okay. A jet's extremely fast. Just go take some jet rides. Go to the roller coaster park and just ride some roller coaster rides. I mean, that's what it's all about. That, it has that zippity zip. So don't take it wrong for anybody out there watching my channel. Has an electric bike. Yeah, right. Would I have one? No, I really don't want one. Would I have one just to say, wow, electric bike? I don't even have that in me. I'm just not excited. It just doesn't, tickle my fancy, as they say. And my next door neighbor here is at that GMC Hummer, and I kind of wonder, that market has so cooled down. The EV market has so changed, and I'm just wondering, like that car a year ago, I guarantee he probably could have got 200 grand for that EV. But right now, the best offer he's had is $130 or $131. So, but he doesn't want it. I mean, he doesn't want it. If you watch my channel, brand new EV Hummer in the garage there, brand new. I don't know what the number he'd take, but reach out my channel if you know anybody who wants one, and I'd let him know that, hey. But he has an auction house here in Tampa, Florida, where he sells all this stuff that companies get rid of, and then he gets it and he gets to auction it off. And they have auctions of him selling heavy duty equipment, light duty equipment, just everything. It's pretty cool, actually. Hell of a gig. But sadly, he's had some tumors and major health issues, but he's a great guy. And I was talking to him yesterday about how he makes the crosses. So the hardware, so where's it all going? I don't even know if I kind of had any other. Well, here's something I've talked about so much. It's interesting that the Chinese, influx of the cars into our country is a huge concern for Joe Biden because, so here it is right here. Chinese auto companies have a very limited presence in the U.S. because of a 27.5% tariff introduced under former Trump. The Biden administration is considering hiking those even higher. But officials are worried that tariffs alone won't be enough to keep Chinese cars out of the country. Bloomberg has reported. So they want. I've talked about this. China wants to set up the BYD, Build Your Dream. They want to set up shop in Mexico to bypass those huge tariffs. So why is Joe Biden very concerned about China? There's many reasons. Because people already know that the Chinese-built cars will circumvent the whole IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, green agenda for his business plan of his country that's lending out billions of dollars to set up companies to have manufacturing stateside, and like the Chips and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act. And so he just knows that if China really can start to get in this market, and you can buy the Ford Mustang Mach-E that's $75,000 from Ford, you can buy it for $35,000 from China, the BYD, or $40,000. What are you going to do? And if you can buy a nice electric vehicle that has a 300-mile range for $29,999, what are you going to buy? Yeah. And so for the whole stateside infrastructure, you know what's going to happen. These companies are not going to be able to survive on building out electric technology, because the Chinaman, and don't take it the wrong way, but the Chinese have outsmarted the green agendas stateside here in our country. It's a big threat. I mean, it's a huge concern. Even Elon Musk will tell you. He'll tell you straight up that, yeah. But that's why he's diligently working on this brand new manufacturing facility where he's going to try to undermine the BYD guys. Is he's going to bring a very affordable, not such a sophisticated Highline Tesla, but he's going to hopefully have automation done in his, I can guarantee it's going to be all robots for the most part, so his overhead's going to be null. Sean Fain, the union representative, he'll be screaming bloody murder once Elon Musk shows everybody his new manufacturing plant that requires little to no humans to be present, because he's designed. I saw a little overview from Tesla. So when you build a car, there's so many things that have to play with one another to put a car together. Well, Elon Musk is going to try to eliminate so many tasks that you have to create the car. So they have a whole different way of engineering and designing a car and manufacturing it, where it's going to be like a third of work and a third of tasks and a third of putting things together, supposedly, could be wrong in these numbers, than the conventional way of that cars and trucks and motorcycles, or I should say cars and trucks are built. I don't know so much about the motorcycle side of that. So once again, so I'm sure that this influx of the Chinese, and once again, here we go. Here's now this administration trying to now raise the flag that it's a security issue. And I just talked about, yeah, okay, really? I didn't hear the security issues. I mean, would you think it through, people? So this country gets into allowing us to go to China to undermine our own country on manufacturing and jobs and skills and goods that enriches China to now borderline be the next superpower of the world. Wouldn't that been more of a concern back in the 90s, 2000 years, that China's going to circumvent us at the end anyways? But now you're Joe Biden fixated on, it's like, dude, you're way late, man. You're like 30 years late on the way you're thinking. Where was this thought process when you were in power, sitting in a seat, Jabba and putting all your policies that everybody forgets to see? Some people forget Joe Biden. I mean, I'm not going to have my YouTube channel shut down for what I can start telling everybody, which they already know. The average person on my channel, I guarantee, is like, oh my gosh, the policies and views that guy supported back in the 70s and 80s and 90s? Are you kidding me? The 2000 years? Oh my gosh. See, the irony of it is a guy named Obama picked him as his VP. Wow. It just gets confusing, doesn't it? Politics. Yeah, politics. So anyways, all right, channel's getting a little into it and does it get a little too political? I don't think it does. I just like to talk about what's going on in the world and state of the times, and there's so much stuff going on, and I just try to keep the car thing going, and what am I going to do next? Right? What's the next adventure besides I've taken on so many cars and trucks and motorcycles and debt? Yeah, my next goal is just to be able to keep them. Yeah, You don't think that I think, holy crap, what have I signed off on? What have I done to myself? Yeah, yikes. Yikes. Wowskers. Yeah, right. Ooh, yeah, it hurts. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, ooh, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, and plus, I think, get back up north, get the Camaro out, right? Get the Camaro Z28 out. Yeah. I only wish I had, in some ways, years ago I was going to build a house down here and blah, blah, blah. But, you know what? Sometimes things just play out for a reason. And I've told this is, if I were to separate myself from my parents' house here that I have residence with, then where am I? I saw my daughter say, then we're up the road. It's not the same because we're not going to be here. So for me, I'd rather just have residence here with my parents. And I'm the executor to the whole estate. So, at the end of the day, we make it all work. But the point is, if I had my own place down here, it wouldn't be the same interaction. It would be more challenging. So that's kind of why I was like, But had I known the market was going to get so crazy, then I would have moved forward just to have the assets and the value. And that's the irony to my life is I've only bought 2 homes in my lifetime. One townhouse back in 1989 and my farmhouse. That's it. Versus others, I'm sure like my dad's moved all over the country. He's probably lived in 30 or 40 different addresses. Versus for me, like cars, yeah, right. Some of my neighbors here, hope my neighbor Bob and Scott, who hang out with me at the pool, I hope they're watching my channel today. Great brothers. One's from Jersey, other one's from Alabama, and I met Scott a few years ago. He's just the nicest guy, greatest guy. And this time I've met his brother, and just a really nice guy. So hey, if you guys watch my channel, good morning there. And you know what? There's so many of my YouTubers out there that watch me, and sure, I like to, when they kind of comment, I'll kind of comment back. And good Lord, and I don't want anybody to ever take it personal if I don't say hi in the morning. That's why I just say good morning, just because I'm recognizing everybody that I know, and that's just how it is. And so, but I appreciate everybody that reaches out and interacts with my channel. So there it is. That's the hardware of the day. Even though I could talk about Lowe's and Home Depot and the old Heckingers, when I first got going, the real hardware store, the Ace hardware stores. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that for today because I'll just turn it really long. And so do you see us shooting guns later? I think you will. I bought some brand new guns here back at the gun show, and I haven't used those yet. So this morning, my brother's going to come over. We're going to get all the guns set up. We're going to go up to the Target range, an indoor facility. We've gone there before. You've seen it on my channel. And we're going to do some gun shooting. Now, my daughter just loves that stuff. My brother loves it. I'm not the big gun enthusiast. That's just not who I am. But I always like to know how to operate a firearm. I think in today's society, it's better to know you have something than you don't have something. I mean, that's, it's just better to know, hey, at least I have something, instead of like, no, you got nothing, but somebody else has something. Yeah, right. We know those conversations. Anyways, that's it. So everybody, as always, appreciate all the nice comments, all the support, and share the channel with their friends, family, and hopefully they can watch the antics and see the videos, and try to kind of keep the content for the most part away from all the negativity that's going on in our world, which there is just so much negativity. I just don't know how people can sit around and just look at stuff and just get sucked up into the negative world we live in, which we do. And it's all the plan. It's the plan. So anyways, that's it. Hey, everybody have a great day. God bless. Stay safe. And stay tuned for some more adventures.